F2ST. This is a two-stage pipe flanging machine. It's a heavy-duty unit. It's a semi-automatic. We're looking at the control box up on the top there. Look at the cylinder, and you got the two palm buttons. Down below we have proximity switches for the clamp. Proximity switches are used for all the automatic or manual cycles. If we look in here, here's where the dies are mounted, and there's two stages. There's A and there's B. And here are the procs for the forward and reverse of the forming cylinder. If we look around here, right here you'll see there's an arm that sticks out. That's a tube stop assembly, and that's used to always position the tube or pipe in the proper space between the clamp and the end of the tube. And now we're looking at the back side of the machine. Here's a starter box, and this particular cylinder is an 8-inch bore cylinder. It'll generate close to 75 to 80 tons of force. It's self-contained, it's its own reservoir. It's got a 35 horsepower motor. And then here in the back here, we're looking at another hydraulic cylinder, and that positions the tooling between A and B position. And at the 35 horsepower motor, it's got a gear pump. Here's the pump. This one here, particular pump, is at 15 GPM. Here's a look at the valves. They're all electrical solenoid valves. And then over here we have an air system. And this is the rotary actuator that moves the tube stop in and out, or up and down. And it works on a 110 air supply. Now we're looking at the side of the machine, and here's the clamps, and here's where we load the tube in to do the forming. Here we're looking at the control box. You see there's 4 switches on there. The switch in the top of the left is the clamp, open and close. The one on the right is the form cylinder to go forward and reverse. The one on the lower left is the tool position cylinder, and the one on the right is the forward and reverse of positioning the tools. Now we're going to make a run without a tube, just a dry run so you can see it work. He's going to do the complete automatic cycle. He hits the 2 palm buttons. The clamp will close, and there's a timer on there to make sure we get the pressure of the clamp. Tube stop moves out of the way. The first stage goes forward and makes the flare. It moves over to station B, goes forward and makes a flange, comes back, makes a proximity switch, it goes back to A position, clamp opens up, tube stop arm closes, and the process is over. He's going to place a tube inside the clamp up against the tube stop arm. Okay, now he'll close the clamp, go through the automatic process. The clamp comes down, tube stop comes out of the way. The flare process is being made. There you see it. Now it's flanging. The tube stop will go out of the way. He'll pull the part out now. And there, hold on. Okay, there you go. Okay, there's the flange. We'll go through one more cycle, and I'll zoom in so we can get a good look at it. Okay, he'll place the tube inside the clamp again, up against the tube stop arm. Okay, then he'll go through the automatic cycle. The clamp is closed, the arm comes out of the way. Here comes the flare die, which is station A. It'll move over, now it'll go to the B. This has a timer to make sure we can get a stroke on it. Goes back to A, clamp opens up automatically, and the cycle is done. Okay, now we're looking at a top view of this so that you can see how the cycle takes place. On the right hand side there you'll see the 2 proximity switches. Okay, now he's going to start forming automatic. is closing, tube top comes out of the way. Here comes the first stage, which did the flare. Moves over to the second stage. Now he'll do the flange. And then it'll come back to the position A again, and then it stops. And the tube top comes up. There's the whole cycle. Now we're looking at the byproduct, and this is what this machine does. It'll flange pretty heavy wall, because this machine has a lot of tonnage. This particular one is just for flanges, but you can make flares. Proper tooling, you could probably do expansions and reductions. Another product designed by and built by AMH. Here we're looking at a machine that's in work, and this one here is going to be reducing 4.5-inch pipe, half-inch wall to make pipe fittings. And you can see the size of this cylinder and the clamp cylinder. And this one is a 5-station unit, where the machine prior was a 2-station unit.